been doing a really good job getting after the quarterback. What stands out when you watch his game, and how important will it be to? He's got 3 forced fumbles to have the ball high, tight, everything like that. Ball security.
Yeah, no, he's a great player. Done a good job, obviously, this year and in the past too. Just for a while, he's been a really good pass rusher and good player. So he's a guy that you game plan for, and you have a plan, to help with him and to secure him. Obviously, he's a good player for their defense. So he's great. He really can play the run as well. Does a lot of good things, but great pass rusher.
How much has the play sheet being on your wrist Sunday come up over the last 3-4 days as maybe something that helped, something that people keep picking up on, or?
Not really. I mean, we talked about it, in here, I guess in there after the game with you guys, but not really much more than that. We've talked about, I guess, internally about, ways that it might have helped or whatever, kind of just assess how it was using it. And I thought it was, there were some positives that came from it for sure. So, I think you look at the clean operation we had on offense. I don't think it's just because of that. There's more moving parts, but I don't think you can deny that probably helped. We played really clean, didn't have any penalties, which is something that we've wanted to improve on all season long. So that was a positive.
Without giving away too much, what is the dummies version of how it helps? Is it verbiage? Is it?
You can just get calls in faster. Really, is all it is, because you got a number on your wristband, and then you read it off to the guys instead of, calls get pretty long in certain situations. So Liam's got to call it. He's got to get the personnel in. You got to call that. You got to call the play. And then if you miss something and he has to call the play again, then you're saying this whole long sentence again. And then you're saying it in the huddle. And then you're breaking it instead of just, hey, wristband 10. And then you go in there, call it to the guys and get out of there. Then you have usually 5 more seconds or so. I mean, it just depends. Maybe not that much sometimes, but that's really all it does.
The idea was to be able to visualize the play as it's coming in. Has that part helped throughout the year as well? When you didn't have the wristband up?
Yeah. I mean, that's something that definitely I learned how to do that I hadn't done in the past. So that was something I got used to, and I do think it helped. And then now, as you grow more and more in the system, now using the wristband to kind of pick up our operation a little bit and see, get a bit better look at the defense when we're at the line of scrimmage, especially on third down and having some more time. That is obviously really important. So I've been in the system long enough now to where I know what's going on. I can picture everything. It's not as, I guess, big of a deal to have it on the wristband to where you're picturing it a little bit later. So it's not a huge deal. I mean, either way, really, we got the same game plan. We're going to go run the plays, and if it helps us get out a little bit sooner of the huddle and have some more time to operate, I think I'm all for it.
I don't think we asked you this, but you slid and got hit the other day. Mm-hmm. Is that exactly why you're not sliding? It's exactly what you said. You're like, I feel like I'm more prone to getting hit when I slide feet first. You slide feet first, you get hit, you don't get the flag.
Yeah, I think it's just hard. And Denzel, I played against him a few times. I mean, I don't think he was trying to hit me late, or didn't really hit me late on that one. It was kind of a late slide, and he did a good job of pulling off. So I appreciated that. We talked about it after. So, but yeah, man, that's a perfect example of it's just hard to. It's hard to get down early enough for the defenders to not take a shot on you, and it's hard to protect yourself. And so you've seen I've kind of limited that this year, and that's one where I probably want to do the same and try to avoid that, because that could have been, if it's a guy that really tries to take you out, he could have had a clean shot where I really can't defend myself.
Liam has said Quentin Morris is kind of one of the guys in his journey on practice squad, special teams offense, kind of defined what they want. What have you seen with Quentin since he's gotten here? What he does?
He's been awesome. Just, super hard worker. Really can do anything he's asked of. He can block. He can run all the routes. He's got great hands. Just shows up when you need him. And obviously at tight end, we've been a little banged up this year. So him being able to step up and do a lot of different things for us. We only had him and Johnny last week that were up. And those guys having to learn, pretty much every thing the tight end can do, whether we're in 11, 12 jumbo with an extra offensive lineman. There's a lot of moving parts for those guys, and for them to be able to move around and do everything that's asked of them, it's pretty impressive. Obviously Johnny's in that group too, and he's done a nice job, but Quentin was great. Seeing some of the blocks he had on Sunday, I'm sure you guys saw some of them, and he played really well, and obviously had, a catch, and I should have had a big one too if I could have got the ball out there to him. He would have had a big touchdown as well. So he's doing some great things and just good teammate. I think it's been fun having him around.
They showed the game he had Sunday. How much does it help the offense having 2 guys who kind of carry the load in the running game as opposed to just one?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of our guys, you look at, LeQuint too, like what he did at the end of the game. I mean, I think he's a guy that we trust, and I think that's the biggest thing is you trust all of them, and they're all talented and can make plays, and that's important. But as far as doing the right thing all the time, knowing what they're doing, whether it's protection or, running the ball and hitting the right spot, getting behind the line, hitting the right gap, all that stuff. All those guys do a great job, and they take a lot of pride in it. Chad's done a great job coaching them up as well, and I think that's the biggest thing. You see guys can come in, and obviously Travis is having a great year, and he's playing great, and Basil's playing great too. But if it's LeQuint that has to step up, no matter who it is, we feel confident in whoever it is to go in there and get it done. Obviously, like I said, it's been Travis getting the bulk of it. He's played awesome, but having guys that can step up, because I mean, in this game, it's, if someone needs a breather or if someone goes down for a few plays, like you need to have depth, and those guys have done a great job of that.
You guys have said that Liam is really relatable as a head coach, sometimes even more relatable than anyone else they played for. And I know QB head coach relationships are different, but what is it that you see that makes him relatable in your relationship?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the way he talks to his players, the way he communicates, it's, really honest and upfront. I think he's just kind of gets right to it, whatever he's feeling or wants to say, and not in a bad way. He just is very honest upfront, communicates. You can tell that communicating is really important to him, and he doesn't want there to be any mixed messages. So I think that's the biggest thing. And then, like I've talked about too, how passionate he is, the way he approaches the game. I mean, you can see how much he cares about it, how much he puts into it, and it means something to him. So I think that makes guys, want to play for him. And then, like we talked about, it's relatable. I think just the way he talks to players. I mean, he's always talking to guys. He's not just off by himself, kind of, standing in the corner watching practice. Like, he's involved all the time. And I think that's something that guys appreciate is him keeping the conversation going consistently.
Time for like two more guys.
Is that part of the culture? When we all talk about cultures, is that kind of the thing that sets it, that's a major part of it, the way he handles all that stuff?
That's a big part of it. I think him being our head coach, the way he talks to the team, a lot during the week and the messaging, and then talks to you guys. He represents our team every time he steps up here, and I think when you have someone that is very clear in his message and, very honest and upfront and communicates clearly, I think that's huge. But obviously the players have to take it and run with it. I mean, that's really what sets the culture, is the buy-in from the players and everyone really being on the same page, making it about the team, having that love for one another and for this game, and realizing how fortunate we are to get to do what we do and just enjoying it. I think that's really the culture, is buying in from all the players. But coach sets it, and I think that's where you've seen he's done a great job of just leading the charge.
Obi to have acclimated so quickly. How unusual is that for a receiver?
Yeah, no, he's done an awesome job. I think the way he runs and moves, I think like that's something I've noticed right when he got here, and I've seen him play a lot too. But it's like I like throwing to him. He's just an easy guy to throw to from a quarterback perspective. It's kind of hard to describe sometimes. Just the way he moves, it seems very clear what he's going to do. So that's something I really like. And then he's smart too. He's picked up the offense really quickly for it being a pretty complicated offense and having to come in and play 3-4 days after getting here, and now he's played a few games with us, and he's done an awesome job. So I really give a lot of credit to him.
Sticking with receivers, you have to learn a lot of new pass catchers, but specifically for Deami, how is he as a teammate? How is he kind of, letting his personality come through even with the up and down season?
Deami's been awesome. Ever since he's come in, I think he's a guy that's worked really hard. He's really smart. I think since we started, and we're all learning this new system together. Guys are coming from different places. Guys that were here, it's still new for us too. So we're all learning it from scratch, and I think he's always stood out as a guy that was really sharp and I feel like put a lot of work in to learn the offense and knew all the different positions really early on. So I was always impressed by that. And then see what he's done this year. I mean, obviously had a little shoulder deal earlier in the season and missed a little bit of time from that. And then, it's football. You're going to have weeks where guys have big weeks and other weeks where they may not get the same amount of opportunities. And I think the way he's handled that has been really cool to see. He's been a good teammate. He's been there for the guys. He's always been willing to do whatever it takes, for us to win or just to do his part. And, there's going to be weeks where it's more than others as far as catching the ball, and that's just the way it goes. I mean, I wish every week it was everybody getting everything they wanted. I mean, that's just that's the hard part about this game. But he's handled it really well, and I've respected the way he's gone about it as a pro. And I know there's going to be a lot more opportunities in front of him.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.